What is up, Allie G Show fam? I am your host, Allie G, and welcome back for another track of the pod. As you know by now, this podcast lives at the intersection of movement, mindset, and music. The highs, the lows, the long runs, the race days, and all of the things in between that carry us forward. So whether you are listening mid-run or walk, in the car, anywhere else, I strongly believe that you are right where you are supposed to be. Today's track is all about Chirine Njeim. This was literally one of my favorite tracks to record because it was so insanely powerful and inspiring. I just walked away from the conversation feeling so motivated to be better and do better and work toward, my goals as a runner. And we're diving into much more than that, though. We're actually diving into Shireen's journey from growing up in Lebanon to becoming a dual Olympian, competing in both the Winter Olympic Games as an alpine skier and then making the leap into the Summer Olympic Games as a marathon runner. We are talking about fearless beginnings, leaving home at a young age to train in France. We're talking navigating setbacks and discovering running in Chicago and what it really took to qualify for the Olympic Games. Of course, we are going to get into the one of the most challenging events out there, 777, 7 marathons on 7 continents in 7 days that Shireen participated in. And I cannot wait for you all to hear my wonderful conversation with Shireen. So lace up, turn up the volume, and let's get into it. Okay, I am sitting down with Chirine Njeim. I am beyond excited to have you on the pod. Like I was saying in our little pre-show here, your story is I feel like it's so layered and so powerful and so inspiring. And I can't wait to dive in and learn more about you. But I just wanted everybody to know who I was sitting down with today. But Shireen, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be on the pod today. So
I'm honored. So I can't wait for this. I can't stop smiling already. But just so everybody knows who I am sitting down with, can you tell the listeners a little bit about, who you are and where you're from and how you would describe what you do?
My name is Shireen, as y'all know. I am from Beirut, Lebanon. So I grew up in Lebanon and I moved to the States when I was 15 years old, about. Right now, I live in Chicago. A little bit about me, I am a dual Olympian. So I have competed for Lebanon at the 2002, 2006, and 2010 Winter Olympic Games for alpine skiing. And then I went to the 2016 Summer Olympic Games to represent Lebanon. And the cool fact is that puts me as the only woman from the Middle East to have competed in both Winter and Summer Olympics.
Wow. Wait, that's
So
super cool. I did not
that
know
is,
that. That's amazing. And we will get into way more of your Olympic skiing journey and your Olympic running journey.
yeah.
But yeah, I always love to hear, I know you gave us a little bit of a background, but I always love hearing how athletes get their start, and your journey is especially unique, of course. So take us back to the beginning, if you could. Like, how did you get into alpine skiing in the first place, and what initially drew you to, the sport?
Yeah, I mean, my family was very just outdoorsy. Every weekend we spent our time just playing tennis, cycling, skiing, and growing up in Lebanon. So we go to school from Monday to Friday, and then on the weekends we'd go to the mountains. And I used to just love to go out there and ski. And my dad taught me to ski. I started skiing, I was 3 years old,
Wow.
and yeah, it was very, very young, but
It's
I was
so
very
cool.
fearless, like every 3 year old, just going straight down the hills without doing any turns. But then I decided my parents wanted me to ski more with with a ski club, so I can just kind of control a little bit of my craziness, I guess, have more structure. And so when I joined the ski club, they had a ski coach there who was from France. He would come to Lebanon to coach. And he told my parents, he's like, this girl has a lot of potential. I can see her, she really wants to be a good ski racer. And for me, I didn't know much about it. I just kind of watched it on TV. I just, every day try to learn from other skiers skiing and try to replicate that on the hill. And so he talked to my parents, and I don't know if I was the crazy one or my parents were crazier than I am, but they thought it was a great idea. And they said, okay, let's send her to France where she can go to school and, ski in the afternoon. So that would be a great combo for her. And at the age of, how old was I? 14? Not even 13. 13, I went with my mom to France the first time, and
Mhm.
she was just trying to show me around and how things are. And I packed all my stuff, left all my friends, and just said goodbye and turned the page and went to France. And that's where I started, kind of really, really training and competing all over Europe and traveling with that coach. And I wouldn't say it was easy, because I was excited to go there, as a 13-year-old just trying to experience Europe and travel. I was very excited about that, but the idea
Mhm.
of staying there and not being with my parents and my friends, and it was just a different culture, and everything about it was different.
Mhm.
And then we didn't have like iPhones, and I sound so old, but we
No,
had like
no.
the payphone. They had like the payphone, so I had to go buy a card and call my mom every day. And I would tell, I would just tell her like, I want to come back to Lebanon. I don't want to be here alone. And without hesitation, she always said to me, "Okay, pack your stuff. You can come back to Lebanon." But then I
Mhm.
always remember, I'm like, wait, but I want a ski race. How am I supposed to go back? And I'm just kind of like, she kept doing that to me until I got adjusted and learned to accept it. So,
Wow. That's
yeah.
really interesting because I feel like on so many fronts, like major props to you because at 14, I don't know if I could make that 13 or 14. I don't know if I could make that decision, but it's also like going back to starting when you were 3. I'm almost 30 for
Mhm.
reference. And
Yeah.
like my friend invited me to go skiing for the first time. And I was like, absolutely not. Right
Yeah.
before the marathon, I was like, there's no way I'm going to so get hurt. That's just totally my vibe. Like
Yeah.
it would have ended up so badly for me. So that's really really awesome that you were able to get there and take that big step. And especially, I mean, props to your mom too, because that's a kind of a good way to get you to stay and get you to stay on the
Yeah.
path of what she knew I feel like you loved. So that's really really cool to hear.
Yeah, and I think it's, if you would have asked me now to go ski racing at an older age, I probably said no, because I think the older you are, the more mature, and you know what you want to do and you don't want to get hurt. But when
Hmm.
you're young and you're just still exploring and still learning, someone tells you like at 14, 13 years old, like, hey, you want to go to France and live there? You're like, that is so cool. But then you don't really think about, wait, I'm gonna be actually missing my family, missing my
Right.
friends, like the change of culture. So to me, that was, I don't know if it was my decision. It was more like I was put in that
Yeah.
situation, where I learned to accept it. And I was just very, you know, motivated and excited about skiing. And I wanted to be so good at it that I just kept, kept
Yeah.
staying there and kept moving forward from there.
Yeah. Were there like little things that you think back to now where you're like, oh, this is what kept me there. This is what kept me going while I was there, while being away from like friends, family? Did you have different coping mechanisms to like being so far away?
Yeah, I
But
mean,
also on the same journey of course, doing what you were loving, I think at the time.
yeah, I think I was, being so young, I don't know if I knew I loved ski racing, and I knew that's
Yeah.
exactly what I wanted. But
Mhm.
I think honestly, like my parents is what kept me going,
Yeah.
because they never made me feel like I could not come back home. Like
Mhm.
when I would be upset or down or I just want to come home, their first thing they said to me, pack your stuff and come home. Like,
Yeah.
we're right here along the way with you. We might not be next to you, like near you, the same house, but like we're right there
Yeah.
following with you to this journey. So I think that's truly what kept me going.
Yeah. That's so nice to hear because I think the feel like if they had said, you have to stay, that feeling of being trapped,
Yes.
I feel like is the worst feeling in the whole world. So it was
Yeah.
nice that they gave you the opportunity, and they never like it wasn't like a yes or no. Like they were just leaving it up to you and then you were able to make the decision on your own. So that's really really special,
Yeah.
I think. And it's like a
Yeah.
special mutual respect to have with your parents.
Yes,
So it's nice
absolutely.
to hear for
Yeah, and
sure.
I mean, I'm not a parent, but I would, if I ever raise kids, that's exactly how I want to be. Just kind of put yourself out there, try it out, see if you like it or not. And if you don't, we're right here. Like, you can always come home. We're never leaving you
Hmm.
alone. So,
Hmm. I love that. I love that. And then before we get into the Olympics, because of course I would love to spend so much time there and hear all about your stories. When did running enter your life, and did it
Wow.
start? It started differently than skiing, I assume.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
if you know much, like it's ski racing is all about power. So I used to lift a lot. I used to do a
Hmm.
lot of sprints. Our workouts were maybe the most running I've done was with the team was if we play soccer as a team.
Hmm.
That was the most running I've done, but I did not like it. Like I did not
Yeah.
enjoy running. I enjoyed doing a lot of explosive and just going down the hill as fast as you can for a minute and a half.
Yeah.
That was what I did. Um, but when after the Olympics, so in 2012, right before I graduated, I met my husband now. So I met him on an airplane. Actually, I was coming from Lebanon to going to Salt Lake City, Utah. That's where I went to university.
Hmm.
And I met him on the airplane and we kind of chit chatted. He was going to Chicago to start his first job, and I was continuing to Salt Lake City. And that's kind of what brought me because we stayed in touch. And right before I graduated, he's like, "Hey, do you want to come to Chicago and just visit and explore?" And we started kind of like dating. And I was like, "Why not? I will
Yeah.
move.
I
I will
mean,
trade the mountains." It was a hard decision because I've lived my whole life around mountains,
hmm,
so to trade that to skyscrapers and just be like, "Okay, I'm coming to a new city," it was hard, but at the
yeah.
same time, I was excited because it was something new and completely different. And
Hmm.
I remember saying to myself, like, wow, I can be whoever I want to be. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have to be a ski racer. That page is done. I don't have to be anything. I can just be a
Hmm.
normal person who does yoga, Pilates, go for a run, a bike ride. Like, I have no pressure because my whole
Yeah.
life, I just grew up like waking up in the morning, go to school, go to training.
Hmm.
So I was really looking forward to that. And when I first moved to Chicago, I didn't have a job then. So I just was exploring the city and walking around. And of course, I was still like, a graduate, so I didn't have a lot of money to spend. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, instead of taking the bus or, transportation, I'm going to just run from one place to another. And I started doing that, like just from one block to another, trying to explore Chicago because it's pretty flat here and it's easy to do so.
Hmm.
And I learned about the Shamrock Shuffle, which I feel like everybody
Yep.
knows about it.
Of
And I
course.
was like, oh my gosh, it's an 8K, it's in Chicago, it's like this big thing. And so I told my husband then, I'm like, we should run it. And he's like, okay. And so I remember that was my first race in 2012. I ran the Shamrock Shuffle in March.
Wow.
Was it March or
Wow.
April? Somewhere around there. Um, it was an 8K, but I just remember going home. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, give me some food. I put my
Yeah.
legs up. Like, this was the hardest ever I've ever done. I still remember wearing like headphones and the shirt of the race, and just,
Hmm.
I just didn't know what I was doing. But
Wearing
I
the race
loved
shirt.
it. Yes, I was wearing the race shirt.
I
It's just really
know.
funny. I'm like, I just want to go back to being that person.
Yeah. No, that's so
But
fun.
it was really, really fun and I loved it. And then that's how I found out about the Chicago Marathon in that
Hmm.
October. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like how cool would it be to just, it's like one of those things you want to do in life. I'm
Hmm.
like, let's run a marathon. And so I registered both my husband and I when it was actually easy to register.
Oh
I
yeah,
feel
no
like now it's like
lottery,
impossible.
nothing. Yeah, it's like impossible to get into anything.
Yeah. So, but we registered both. We were both in like Corral B and F, I don't know. And then, yeah, and then we ran the Chicago Marathon for the first time. And I just was like, I don't want to say like I trained for it, but like I just kind of did long runs here and there just by myself. And I fell in
Hmm.
love with it. And that's how I picked up running.
Wow. Wait, I love that story.
Yeah.
Chicago is one of me and the Chicago Marathon have a little beef because it was a great race for me. I only did the Chicago Marathon once. It was a great race for me, but um I felt so bad after. It was a PR, but you feel so gross after
Yeah.
and you're just like my body is in so much pain. But it is one of my favorite running cities. I always tell people and everybody's like that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, yes it
Yeah.
does. It's flat, it's fun. And the best way to
True.
see that city, I think, is to run. So that's so
I
cool that that's how
100%
you got
agree.
into it.
Yeah,
That's so
I
fun.
agree. Yeah, it's I love Chicago. Obviously, I live here and It's convenient. I feel like from all the marathons I've done, you are right. Like it is one of the most like easiest way to get to the start, to have
Hmm.
people watch you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. I literally
Nice.
ran to the start. I think that's how I ran from
That's
my hotel to the
amazing.
start line. I was like,
That's
whatever, we're just gonna
amazing.
go, right? Because you
That's
can.
amazing.
Because you
Yeah,
can.
yeah, yeah. It's very true.
I love it. I love it. All
Yeah.
right. Well, I would love to hear all of your Olympic stories. And I think it's of course something so few people ever experience. Um so talk to me a little bit about that. Like when was the first time you were like, "Oh, I'm actually going to be able to compete for Lebanon and I'm going to be able to do this?" And what were you thinking? What were you feeling? How did you get there? Well, I know how
Yeah,
you
I
got
mean,
there, but you know what I
yeah.
mean.
I mean, it was a long journey, honestly. Like so when I moved to the States, I started training with a ski academy in Salt Lake City called
Mhm.
Romark Ski Academy. It's a school, and then in the afternoon you go and train. So I started doing that with them, and then I just really, really improved. Like it was really great. And I was about like it was probably 3 years before the Olympics,
Mhm.
and I have like went through a lot, like truly a lot. Like I went through anorexia. I, injured my knee. Like it was just, and I had pneumonia. I just went
Mhm.
through a roller coaster right before the Olympics,
Mhm.
and I never really focused about like this is what I want to do. This is like that I want to go to the Olympics. These are the one and the only one. I just had to go through whatever injuries I was going through at that
Mhm.
moment. And going to the Olympics, being able to make it when I was actually still, battling with anorexia at that time was
Mhm.
really, really tough, because they're like, I don't know if she can race, it's a lot. It's asking a lot of my body to, with the pressure to be able to compete.
Yeah.
um, but somehow I put it all together and just kind of set my mind to do the Olympics in Salt Lake City, because I'm like, this is home. Like for me now, I
Yeah.
live there. I know the hill. I want to race it. So my first Olympic, I always describe it as a deer with headlight. Like I remember the opening ceremony really clearly. I remember parts of it. I remember being
Mhm.
at the start and having a camera like come like on the side. I'm like, am I supposed to look at the course, or am I supposed
Yeah.
to? I was so young. I just didn't know. But I remember like little things here and there. But the
Mhm.
rest of it, it truly felt like a dream. Like I was
Yeah.
living the dream for 2 weeks. When it was over, the way people describe, like you feel almost like sad and like you just don't know what's next.
Mhm.
You feel that way because
Yeah.
it's such a an inspirational, and like you see all those other skiers, and it's such a big moment in my life that I just, and then when it's all over, you're like, wait, what am I supposed to do
What am I
now?
doing? Yeah.
So that was like for my first Olympics. After that, I went to Italy, which was great. But again, it was just like another eye opening for me. I was still learning a lot. I was still just, I think when you put on that stage,
Mhm.
you think you're ready, but then there's just a lot of other things that kind of get in the way. And you're like, what am I supposed to do? Like, do
Yeah.
I act normal? Do I just act like I know what I'm doing?
I
Like,
can't even imagine what's going
it's a
through
lot
your
of
mind
pressure.
when you're
It's a lot of
standing there.
pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Wow.
then 2010 Vancouver Olympic Games, that was probably one of my favorite, because one, I was mature, and two, my family was there, and I just knew what I was doing. I was healthy, I was ready, and I just felt like I've been through it like a couple times, and now I'm ready to just compete. And it's funny because like I know the Olympics are coming up, and the opening ceremony is this Friday, which we're recording
Mhm.
now on a Thursday, right? So it's
Yeah.
tomorrow. Um,
Tomorrow.
yeah, so I'm very excited to watch, but it's funny how people are, you watch one of the top like athletes, and you're like, how are they not able to compete when they've won all year long? But
Mhm.
there's something about the Olympics where you feel like you almost put that pressure on yourself. Like, this is the moment I need to compete, but it shouldn't be any different. It's just another race,
Right.
that's how it
Right.
should be. But yeah, so that was
That is
my,
wild.
that was my
So
three
wild.
crazy winter Olympic games. And it's
Wow.
been, I can't like really say like I loved all three of them. Of course, Vancouver, as I said, was my favorite,
Mhm.
but it was just absolutely, truly is a dream to be there.
I bet. I bet. I
Yeah.
can't even imagine. It gives me chills even thinking about it. That is so wild and
Yeah.
such a unique experience. That's really
Mhm.
cool that
Yeah, and I had
I,
the privilege to carry the flags for Lebanon, and that's another thing. I'm like, what if I fall? Like, everybody's gonna see me on TV. I have to carry this big flag. It's windy. Like, how am I supposed to do this? But it's an
Mhm.
experience that I will never forget in my life, for sure.
Wow. I love to hear that. I love to
Yeah.
hear that. Were there any like I always feel like there's this viewer interest in athlete life in the Olympic Village. Like, were there any moments that stuck out to you? The one that made me want to ask you this question was, I think it was the 2024 Paris Olympics where like those chocolate muffins went viral, which is so like of course you heard
Yeah.
about that, I'm
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
Where like, and then the New York Times was like, we're gonna try to make a dupe recipe, and it was
Yeah.
all because of these chocolate muffins. Like, were there any moments like that? I mean, it doesn't have to be food, obviously, but like, were there any moments like that that stuck out to you across any of the games?
I mean, to me, it was just more like not really specifically like that. I wish we had something like that. It would have been fun to just try to chase who can get the muffins or the cookies.
Yeah, who gets them
But
first?
yeah, exactly. I think it was just like everything like just having all sorts of food from all around the world. That was just
Yeah.
so interesting. And like honestly, you think that athletes, like when I was sitting, because we all sit kind of on picnic tables, it's just one big cafeteria.
Hmm.
And sometimes you sit next to you and you look over, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm sitting next to, such and such. Like, it's so cool. But then you're sitting there watching them, what they eat. And like, you think like athletes sometimes are healthy and they're eating healthy. No, some of them are like
Yeah,
at the
like
McDonald
not.
line, just waiting there for their hamburger. And you're like, wait a minute.
That's so funny. That's
Yeah.
so funny.
So, I mean, things like this was very interesting. And like having, in our credential, we always had like a little scan button or something that you would go to a vending machine and you can get all the drinks for free,
Hmm.
which was really kind of cool. I
That's
remember like
awesome.
all that vitamin water, you just go and get all the free vitamin water. You're like, I can have as many as I want.
Hey,
That's
you
why when you go
deserve it.
back, yeah, but that's when you go back to real world, you're like, can I just wear my credential and
Yeah, and
will
like
people
swipe at every
recognize?
vending machine around the world. That'd be great.
Wouldn't that
Oh
be
my God.
awesome?
That'd be so awesome. That and like maybe snacks too. That'd be great.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
I can't say I would be swiping for McDonald's, but yeah,
No,
but definitely snacks and vitamin water
exactly,
I would swipe for. Um
exactly. Yeah,
I love that. That's all so fun and again, like I said, so unique and honestly inspiring to me. I have no chance at being at the Olympics, but it's very cool to hear that
yeah,
from somebody who's experienced it so many times.
yeah.
So then fast forward, that was summer 2016, right?
Hmm.
You switched to the Summer Olympics, and it marathon distance that
It
you.
was yes.
Okay.
So it was the marathon, and honestly, I like never in my life thought I would go to the Summer Olympics, especially to the marathon. Like never
Hmm.
ever. Like never. It never even crossed my mind.
Yeah.
Um, but when I was so for Lebanon to qualify for the Summer Olympics was I was supposed to run. I can, run 240 sub 245, and I can qualify.
Hmm.
So I remember in Chicago, October, I raced the Chicago Marathon, and I ran. At that time, I went from like a 3:03, I think 3 hours
Hmm.
down to a 2 hours, and I want to say it was like 47,
Hmm. It's
or
amazing.
47 or 48, somewhere around there. So I was like shocked. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm officially in the twos. And then right following that, I always go to Lebanon and I compete in the marathon in
Hmm.
Lebanon, just because to me that means a lot more than just competing. Like just being there, to me that means a lot.
Yeah.
So November, probably a month after the Chicago Marathon, I went to Lebanon and I competed at the Beirut Marathon, and I ran a 240. I believe at 240. So I ran Chicago in 246, and I ran there at 248. And I'm like,
Hmm.
oh my gosh, I'm only 2 minutes off. Like, but that time I proved to myself that I'm officially a 2 hour marathoner, because I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I've done it twice.
Yes.
Now this is
Yeah.
official. And then everybody was telling me, like, Shireen, if you run sub 245 before January 20, like that January coming. So it was November 2015. So they said if
Hmm.
you run before the end of January 2016, a marathon that is sub 245, you can qualify to the Olympics. That's your last chance.
Yep.
And I remember being on an airplane, like flying back to the States. I emailed my coach, and I was being coached by a coach in Arizona, just online coaching.
Mm-hmm.
I sent him a message. I said, "Hey, I think I want to do Houston Marathon this
Mm-hmm.
year in 2016." He said, "No, I think you're crazy. Like, like just hold up a little bit. I think you're just riding that high, kind of like the high wave, whatever high cloud, on cloud nine. Just calm down. Like, let your body heal. Like, you cannot do another marathon and PR." But
Mm-hmm.
I was so set to do this marathon. And I remember telling my friends, I think I was just trying to get a little bit more like positive from people to be like, great idea.
Yeah,
But
do it.
everyone was like, yeah, everyone was like, this is ridiculous. Like you cannot PR in 3 marathons back to back.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember going to the lakefront here in Chicago, doing my workouts, and not a single workout went as planned. Like if the coach said you have to run at 6:15 pace, I was like 6:35, 6:40. I just could not. Like I knew I was tired. I could not hit it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, like I cannot tell him that this is happening. So I was like, oh, workout was great, everything was great. But I remember coming home and crying because I'm like, this is miserable. Like, I don't know if I
I
could do
know.
this. And I just connected with some people like literally on Facebook that I saw them. They're running the Houston Marathon, and I remember this guy telling me, "It's like, oh, like I'm planning to run, a 2:42, but I can start with you if you want." I'm like, great. So I arrived to Houston. I met the guy, and I have no idea who he is, and I don't know how he trains or how he runs. And he's like, "Yeah, that's great. We should start together." I'm like, okay. Of course, we started the marathon together, but probably 9 miles into it, he just kind of did his own thing, and I just
Mm-hmm.
kept going. And I kept going and kept going. And I swear, I crossed that finish line in 2:44. And I have never, I was
Yes.
like, if anything, I was like, this was my Olympic. Like the fact that the way I qualified for this was everything that I needed. I just was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm done running. I'm done.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
it.
it.
It's over.
That's it. But I could not believe that I did it. And that's what got me to the 2016 Olympic Games that were in
Wow.
Rio. So that was just amazing, like
Wow.
back to back. And I think moments like this truly taught me a lot about myself because I
Mm-hmm.
used to, how like people say, like, oh, believe in yourself, or if you set your mind to something, like for sure you'll get it.
Yeah.
I 100% believe in that because
Yeah.
if your heart, you can train as much as you want, but if your heart is not into it, there is
Mm-hmm.
no way you can get there. Like you
Yeah.
want it, you have to want it so bad, and it will happen. It's just so
You do.
crazy how that works.
Yeah.
Truly.
It's insane. Wow, I
Yeah.
loved that story so much that I'm over here like, please say you made it at the Houston Marathon. That is amazing. But I couldn't agree more. It's funny. Obviously, not anywhere compared to the level of running, but I remember I had this coach when I first started running, and actually backtracking a little bit when we were talking about like after the Shamrock Shuffle, where you're like, oh my god, my feet are up, and I'm like, I'm never gonna walk again, and you're
Yeah.
being like so. For me, I was so dramatic after like my first half marathon. I was like, there's no way I'm going up the stairs. Like, I was like, I'm eating pasta and putting my feet up and never moving for the rest of the week. And now it's like I'm running so many miles a weekend that and my friends are like, you're not, like, what are you doing? How do you even function after you run like a 20 miler? And I'm like, I don't know. You got to believe. You got to believe that it can happen.
I
Um,
100% believe that. Yeah.
it's so true. But my point in telling you this was that my first half marathon after that, I was like, I want to break a 1:30. And I hired a coach, and he was like, great training block all the way up to the race. And then the night before, he's like, yeah, don't go in with like high expectations that you're going to hit your goal.
Oh
And I was
no.
like, okay, well, first of all, like, we're not going to work together after this race.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but second of all, I was like, well, I mean, you said I'm not gonna, so now I'm gonna have to. Like it was one of
Yes.
those things. And like whatever fuels that fire in you, I truly believe like you have to want it, because the night before that race, I work in music. So I went to a concert. I got home at like midnight, got up, ate a stale bagel at like 5:30 in the morning, got myself to Brooklyn because it was the half marathon that goes from Brooklyn to Manhattan. And I ate my like peanut M&Ms, my bagel. I was like ready to go.
I
And I
love it.
got I got a 127, and I was like, ha.
Oh
Like,
my gosh,
but it
that's
was just but
amazing.
it just made me think of that because
Yeah.
it's so true. Like you really, like, that was no sleep, minimal fuel.
Yep.
I had a great training block, but like I was going in with so much negativity from this coach. And then I was like, no, you know what? Like I believe I can do it. So I'm going to do it. So I
Yeah,
love
isn't
that.
it
It's so,
amazing?
so
Yeah,
similar.
because you're training for a marathon right now, right?
Right now I'm training for Boston.
Boston, yeah, you're
Yeah,
in
my
the thick of
third.
it right now.
Oh, I'm so in the thick of it. And it's like 5 degrees. I mean, you know how it is. It's probably
Yeah.
freezing in Chicago. It's probably colder there
Yes.
than it is here. Every day I wake up and it's like 5 degrees and I'm like, all right, we're going to go out there and we're going to do it.
Yeah.
We're going to
Yeah.
get this run done.
Yeah. Well, it's
But
hard
yeah,
now, but I think like race day, once you go to Boston, it will be the easy part,
that's true,
right?
right? I always
Because
tell people that.
you look back, you'll be like, okay, I was running in 5-degree weather, and now it's just perfect weather for me, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
a great race. So
And it's a
that's
celebration.
exciting. Yeah.
Thank you. I hope so. I really hope so. It's my third one. Um, I I want to break a 310. I've said this on the pod before, so
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm speaking it into existence and now it's not going to happen. But yeah. But yeah, anyway, enough about me. I appreciate that so much. I hope it's a great race.
Yeah.
It's Boston's so fun. It's a good one. You work so hard to be there and it's finally happening. So it's just a
Absolutely.
celebration. That's how I'm looking at it. To relieve the
100%.
pressure and then maybe I'll run really fast and then I'll be
Exactly.
happy.
Exactly.
um, but okay, so fast forwarding um a little bit to 777 because of course
Oh my
running had
gosh. Yes.
become all this huge part of your life
Yes.
after skiing and Olympics and everything. Talk to me about it. Like how did you even get involved? What were you thinking when you were signing up? And we just have so much to talk about.
So the 7-7, if people, if they don't know what the 7-7 marathon is, running 7 continents, in so running 7 marathon on 7 continents in 7 days.
Hmm.
And I always tell myself, like, repeat it one more time. 7 marathons, seven continents, 7 days. It's like, how is that possible? But the way
Yeah.
it started for me was, I was literally just on Instagram looking around, and I saw something that Ryan Hall had posted. He
Hmm.
posted something about like, "Hey, I'll be running the 7 marathons, and 7-7, and if you're around the area, jump in and run with me." And Ryan used to be my coach at one point,
Hmm.
so I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so exciting! Like, yeah, I want to look it up." So I looked up the race, and it's weird because I look, you see a lot of races, you see a lot of like challenges or people are doing things, but that one in particular just hit me. I was like, I can do this. Like,
Yeah.
I can do this. Like, I want to be part of this 777. Um, and so I started looking into it. I started kind of just throwing it out there, telling people about it. I think the year that I think Ryan Hall didn't end up doing it, or he did it the year before that.
Hmm.
And so it started just kind of like I put it out there and I'm like, I want to do it and I want to do it. And it's not a cheap marathon. Like it's not cheap to do it, obviously,
Of
but
course.
everything's included. So you have a charter flights that takes you from one place to another. You just have to get yourself to Cape Town. So that's the main thing. And then once you're there, they have a flight that takes you from one continent to another. They have the race organized. So all you have to do is get up, run, go back,
Repeat.
back, and then repeat.
No big
um
deal. It's fine.
no big deal.
Yeah.
So but I thought it was a great idea, and I was like, I don't know if I can afford this, I don't know if I can do this, I don't know if I personally can do this. Like
Hmm.
I've run one marathon and I just feel tired and sore. You go on long runs on Sunday and you're like, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
um so first of all, I brought it up to my boss, who, I work for a startup healthcare here in Chicago called named Transcarent,
Hmm.
and he's extremely supportive. I've been working for him for 12 years, and I brought it up to him. I'm like, hey, I was thinking, like, what do you think of the idea of me running 777 marathon? Without hesitation, he goes, you should do it. I'm like, yeah, but it's kind of expensive. He's like, I will sponsor you. Like, I will
Oh,
personally sponsor you to do this. I will have Transparent,
that's
be
so
part of
cool.
this journey. And how can I say no? I'm
Right.
like,
Right.
I
That was
mean, now I'm like,
the positivity
uh,
you needed, right? You're like,
exactly.
yes.
Now I'm like, I am hooked. I'm part of this, like, doing this.
Hmm.
And so I started like thinking about training. I started asking some of my friends who are ultra marathons, and how do you train for this? What's the idea? So mostly it was just have time on your feet. And that's exactly what I kind of did. I started slowly running, not knowing where this is going to take me. And my main goal was, no matter what I do, I just need to be healthy. Like I cannot have any injuries. And so I was very careful about my rest, if eating and all of that. So, but every day I pretty much ran 20 miles. That's
Every
exactly
day
what
of
I
the
did
week.
every day of the week.
Wow.
But
Wow.
it sounds crazy, but it becomes like, you know how they say the 8 miles becomes your 10 miles and your 10
Mm-hmm.
mile, like it's always like, oh, instead of running 8, I'm gonna run 10. To me, it
Yep.
was just a normal thing. Like
Yeah.
some days I'll do 10 in the morning and then 10 in the evening. Sometimes I was able to do it all 20 in the morning, but
Mm-hmm.
I had to do it. That's what I chose to do.
Yeah.
And so I did that. I would have 2 weeks of high mileage and 1 week of lower mileage, which would be like, in the hundreds. And then the other ones were like 80 miles. And the 80 miles, I mean, those weeks, I thought I was going to feel fresh. I'd actually
Mm-hmm.
feel very tired. It's amazing
Yeah.
how the body is like that. It's
Yeah,
kind of
it's
like
true.
tapering. When you
Yeah.
taper, you feel exhausted. You're like, I'm supposed to feel fresh. You're like, it's
Yeah.
not working.
Because it builds up, builds up, builds up, and then you're like, oh man, I could take a deep breath. And when you take a deep breath, you are
Exactly.
truly just have nothing left.
Exactly. So to me, I just kept doing that, and I had like everyone at the office, like my friends, hey, how's training? How's it going? And so I had that really nice support around me.
Mm-hmm.
I did once ran back to back marathon. So I did a marathon one day, went to sleep, got up the next day, did another one just to feel how that would feel. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, it wasn't too bad. I felt great, but now I have to do it
Yeah, now I
7
have to
more
do it
times.
7 more times in a row.
And traveling and packing and
Oh my
so
gosh.
but yeah, when I went on that journey, I honestly had no expectation. Like I just wanted to, my first goal was finish,
Mm-hmm.
just do all 7, finish. It doesn't matter if I have to walk, if I have to crawl, like just
Yeah.
make sure you finish every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and then I just kind of signed up and went for it.
I mean, you crushed it. You absolutely
Yeah.
crushed it. I was following along. I loved the bond that I feel like you and Bex and Hillary, and of course, correct me if I'm wrong if I'm saying that, but it just seemed from the outside like you guys just formed this insane bond, which was so fun to watch from the
We truly did.
outside. It
Yeah.
was, I mean, I can't even imagine. I can't
Yeah,
even
we
imagine.
truly did. I mean, it was just amazing having Ashley with us, who's like an
Yeah, Nash.
expert at
Yeah,
ultra marathoning.
yeah.
When I first got there, I remember we were at the hotel and I was looking around. I'm like, oh my gosh, I know who Bex, because they kind of started saying names and I started like, looking up who's Bex, who's Hillary, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they are so good. Um, but I think after, so the first day we got there, we all went for a nice, like, easy jog.
Hmm.
And we're like, oh my gosh, this feels like a nice space. We should, kind of like stick with this space for the race. But of course, like people say that, but once actually the run starts,
Yeah,
you have a different mentality.
yeah,
And
for
so the
sure.
day, yeah, so the day we went to Antarctica, that was actually a very hard one because we couldn't really talk to each other because it was just kind of, you're out there in the cold, you're trying to
Of
stay
course.
warm, and it's just all of that, and we're separated and there's the snow, so that was kind of a tough one. But then when we came to Cape Town and that second marathon, we were all at the start, we're like, we need to run together, like let's
Yeah,
stick this together and we're going to be there for each other all along the way. If someone like literally stopped to go to the bathroom, we all stopped to go to
yeah.
the
I
like
love
it was
that.
just amazing because I feel like if we didn't have that connection or that camaraderie, I don't know if, it would have been as fun maybe, or as like, I don't know. I just felt so inspired every run we did. I'm like, this is so great. We're here, we're
Yeah.
doing this together. I have like a great supportive woman around me, and we're all like cheering for each other. No one is like trying to, you know, take you down or anything like that. And if you felt
Yeah.
good and you really wanted to push, we
Hmm.
told ourselves, we're like, hey, go ahead. Like, don't feel bad,
Yeah.
just go ahead. And I think having that was just so relaxing because I knew every run I was going to do, I had that support around me.
Yeah.
So,
And like the mutual respect for athletes in that space is amazing. And I think it's
yes,
really hard to get caught up in competing these days with yourself or like with friends or whoever you're running with. So it was so nice to watch from the outside to like see you guys support each other in that way. And just really, really
yeah,
special. Really
yeah,
special.
yeah. It
And
was
also,
amazing.
I don't want to forget to ask you, like, how did you even pack for Antarctica? Like, were you?
Oh.
I would be the packing would send me over the edge.
Honestly, it's very simple. Like if you
Yeah.
think about it, because you finish the race,
Hmm.
As soon as you finish your race, you're going back to, whatever shower they had provided. Sometimes it's like the shower on the side of the path where, it's like public
Yeah, you're like,
bathrooms, or it
yeah,
didn't matter. It's like, I just need to
yeah,
shower before I get on that plane. So
yeah.
you shower, you wear sweatpants or whatever very comfortable clothes you have,
Hmm.
and you have just an hour or so, and then you have to leave again. So we didn't really, it's not like you're putting makeup on or anything like that. And then
Hmm.
what I did was, for every race that I had, so if I had like the Antarctica, I just brought one of those giant Ziploc bags from Amazon. They
Hmm.
literally have those. And I put everything that was for Antarctica in a Ziploc bag, and I just wrote Antarctica on it. So I put like
So
my
smart.
food, my socks, my sports, for everything that I was planning to wear there, I put it in the bag. So as soon as I finished, I put it back in the Ziploc bag and I closed it. And then I had another bag, but it was literally, my bag looked like it was all Ziploc bags. So I would have like my Antarctica, my, uh, you know, Perth bag, my
Hmm.
Istanbul 1 and 2. And so I didn't really have to think about what I needed to pack. It was just already packed. So all I did was take it. I had everything in it, the gel, everything.
It's so
And so that
smart.
was kind of nice. And on the plane, I mean, everybody's in sweatpants. You wear your sweatpants and you eat food and you're sleeping. And so that was like our bedroom. Like, it was very nice because you have your assigned chair. And as soon
Hmm.
as you get on the flight, sometimes they had a buffet, where you can just kind of pick your food. Sometimes they came and served it for you, but it was very like, it was an airplane food. It was very good food. Like, you get your
Yeah.
whole like chicken, your whole like pasta and rice. And so we ate, and after you eat, you just lay back, and close your eyes and put your mask on
Oh,
and your
wow.
boots on or whatever you had to recover. And as soon as you landed, we changed right on the plane. And so our bathrooms were like, it's like your normal house bath. We would
I
wait in
know.
line to brush our teeth.
That's
And
so funny.
like, my looking at airplanes, my experience just changed completely. I'm like, this was my bedroom for 7 days. You
Were
know,
you on wasn't it the Rolling Stones
it
like tour
was.
plane? That's so
Yes.
cool. It's so
Yes.
cool.
So it was a lay flat bed, so that, was kind of nice. But it's always hard to sleep when you're, traveling. And
Yep.
but yeah,
I
I
know. I
think
was going to ask you
everyone.
if you can sleep on planes. It's a struggle for me. I think a lot of
Yeah.
people, but if you could sleep on a plane or you could sleep anywhere, I feel like you could
Yeah.
actually get rest.
Yeah, you almost like make yourself sleep. Like, you learn how to like force yourself to sleep. You're like, I need that recovery, and that's
Hmm.
the main thing. Um, but it's, it goes to, it reminds me of the half marathon that you did, that you tell me about where you just, ate M&Ms and had whatever food you had. It is actually funny looking back at the 7-7, how the food was never like consistent. I was never like probably drinking enough water. I
Hmm.
remember between we got into the first race in Istanbul, which was Istanbul, the Asia side.
Hmm.
We got there at like 5 p.m. at night. We were running. It was raining. It was cold. Like, it was just not. That was probably my least favorite race there.
Hmm.
Istanbul, the first one. We finished the race. We arrived to the hotel around, I would say, like 1 a.m. in the morning.
Hmm.
I didn't eat. So I just finished the race. I went straight to the hotel. I'm like, my first thing to do is sleep. I don't care if
Yeah.
I eat, because I will eat in the morning. So we got up the next morning at 6 a.m., had a light breakfast, because of course you're running a marathon, so you can't eat a lot.
Right.
Had a light breakfast and went on and did another marathon. And it's amazing how my body just adapts. And everyone
Yeah.
else was the same. Like,
Hmm.
we weren't worried about like, oh, did I get enough, carbs, enough this, enough that. No, we just kind of went,
You're just
so
like, we got to just get the job done. That's
yeah,
it.
I think
Right.
I think people complicate running sometimes. It's just so easy, and it just doesn't need to be,
Yeah.
so just,
Yeah.
sure, take care of the little things, but that's it,
That's
if
right.
you're.
I love that. It's true. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated. You're so right. You're so
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
So Istanbul, the rainy one was your least
Yes.
favorite. Did you have a
Yes.
favorite?
My favorite was Perth, Australia. So that would be the third one.
Hmm.
So we got
Why
there.
was
It
it your
was
favorite?
like, I don't know, it was just the path was there. Like, it was just so great. We got there around like 4 p.m. It was like sunset. The people were
So nice.
amazing. Like, such a huge support on the course. I think people just mostly heard about, Bex and
I'm
Hillary,
sure.
and well, mostly like Bex and Ashley, I should say, and because they're both like very involved with Peloton and iFit.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would show up and they would like cheer for us. So that was like really, really cool. But yeah, Perth, Australia
Wow.
was definitely my favorite.
I
But
love
of course,
that.
like Antarctica was very unique. You know, it was just I could not believe we
Yeah.
were there. Like right before we landed, that was the craziest thing. Sorry, I'm giving like so much details because I
No,
want you
I
to know.
this is why you're here. I want to spare no details, as we like to say
So
on the pod.
yeah, so like in for Antarctica, before we got there, they told us like 20 minutes before, they're like, "Oh, we're going to drop the temperature of the airplane, so it's cold inside the plane. So when you get out, you're not shocked
Mm-hmm.
because you're not going out
Interesting.
into a terminal, you're going straight outside." And
Right.
so we all like putting all our outfits and our jacket. I was like so nervous. I'm like, I don't know, am I gonna freeze when I walk out? Like, what is this gonna be like? But it's actually just like being in Chicago, but
Yeah. Yeah, especially right now, I'm sure.
yeah.
That is
Yeah.
so wild. What
So
did
that
you
was
like wear special shoes or did you just wear like your sneakers? Like
so
your running
I
sneakers?
that was a very kind of like I was that's the part where I just didn't know what to wear. I wore trail running shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Um I can never say the brand correctly. Arcteryx.
Oh yeah, Arctex.
Arc
I don't
Arcte
I'm
I
always
can
wrong
never say
too.
it. But they were amazing. Like the shoes were
Hmm.
amazing and they had a little bit they were like the trail shoes, so they had the bottoms were, a little more grippy.
Hmm.
But a lot of the girls actually did wear the race shoes, like the actual, like, whatever Nike or whatever they were wearing, and they taped the side so their feet like don't get cold. They just put duct
Oh,
tape.
that's smart.
Yeah, so that was kind of
Smart.
nice. Mine were just Gore-Tex, so I just figured I was fine.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting. They were like, don't wear, don't overheat. Like, make sure when you drink water, you stop and drink the water because they don't want you to spill it on yourself and, because you
And like
freeze.
freeze. Yeah.
So
Wow.
just like little things like that, like if you sweat, it's not a good sign. Take a jacket off. Like it's okay to be a little bit on the cooler side.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Wow.
running in Antarctica was just a dream. I mean, but when you're staring at white snow for a while, you're like, am I hallucinating?
I know. I was gonna say. I feel like it would make me dizzy. Not. I guess dizzy is the wrong word, but it would. I would feel like I'm hallucinating.
Yeah,
Everything's
I
so
mean, it was,
white and like
yeah, it was so
bright.
bright and the sun was so bright and the sun never goes down. It's always
Hmm.
sunny. Um, so that was kind of crazy because I was just at one point, I'm like, what am I doing? Like,
Yeah.
how many loops have I done?
And it's like the first day.
Yeah. Like, am I gonna survive the rest of
You're
them?
like,
But
is this over yet?
yeah, but once the first one was done, I think that was like everything was building to that first race, the Antarctica, that
Yeah.
everything felt like, okay, now I know this is more what I do and I could do this. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was
That's
amazing. I would
crazy.
100% recommend it to anyone, even so people that say there's no way I could do it. It's again like when you're there, when you're in the middle of it, you're doing it, you just kind of go with it. You never
Yeah.
even think, you don't have time to think, what am I
Right. Like
doing?
the
You're just gonna
adrenaline,
do
I'm
it.
sure.
Yes, yes.
That is so wild. I maybe one day. We'll see. Maybe one day. Everybody's like, you should do it. I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready yet.
Oh my gosh, you
But
have to, you
it'd be
have
so
to.
cool. It would be so cool.
Wow.
Maybe. Was there ever a time? I mean, I think I know the answer to this question now. Now getting to know you a little bit, but was there ever a time where you were doubting yourself or where you wanted to stop? Because I feel like
Um,
I feel like I'd be like, oh, like to your point, you don't have time to think, you don't have time to like doubt, but like
yeah.
I'm sure when you're running, I mean, you're still thinking about things, you
You
know?
know, yeah, like when we were in Cape Town, like, it's just like a marathon. You're sticking with
Hmm.
the group. You're like, I want to stay with the group. Like, I don't want to drop. I don't want to, no one's
Hmm.
no one's asking anyone to run a certain time. The whole
Right.
idea was to finish. It's a challenge. It's not a race. And but when you're running with the girls, like at one point, I remember I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting tired. And they're like, no, stay with us. Like, stay with us. You could do this. And you're like, I don't know if I could do this.
Hmm. Hmm.
But then once you just have that group like pushing you through, you just kind of push through it. Like we definitely, some of us had like at some point in the race, like a moment where like, I just don't feel great. Like my
Hmm.
stomach hurt, or I'm not feeling it today. And a few times I had said it, I was like, I'm just not feeling it today. And you guys are the one carrying me to the finish.
Yeah.
And when they knew that, they just stayed with me. Like if they saw me like slowing down a little bit, they picked me back up.
Oh,
And so I think that was super amazing. Like it was so special. I can't even describe it. So
it's
having that
wild.
group truly probably kept me going through the whole thing.
I love it. I love to hear that. It always
Yeah.
brings a smile to my face because it's about the people around you, just as much
100%.
as you're all doing the same thing. You're all in the same boat. So it's nice that you guys were able to lift each other up. So fast forward, you're on day 7 in Miami.
Oh my gosh,
Were
that was
you like
like,
extra excited to be done?
oh, I could not wait. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it was more like being done. I think I knew I had my friends and family there, and like
Hmm.
I knew everybody was gonna be there. And we showed up at the start, and oh my gosh, like there were so many people waiting for us. Like everyone's family, everyone's friend, everyone was in Miami. And
Hmm.
it was just perfect weather. The path was just like most all of them were like probably a 2 mile one way, 2 mile back.
Hmm.
So it wasn't like we did a loop or anything like that. So it, it's hard. Think about it. Like, how did you run a marathon just going 2 miles and 2 miles back?
Yeah.
That's exactly what we did. I mean, even some
Yeah.
of them were shorter. Like Istanbul
Hmm.
was like a mile and a half, and then you turn and you do a mile and a half.
Yeah.
Um, which
It's a
is
lot of laps.
it's a lot of laps, but it's like also now I look at it, I'm like, you know what? If somebody tells me you have a marathon or you have to run 20 miles, I'm okay running down the street and back up. Like
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
I have no problem. I've done it before. Um, but yeah, so it was just amazing to be in Miami and be like finishing there. It was beautiful, sunny. We had everyone cheering, and I just could not believe it. Like once I was done, I remember the next morning, like going to bed, I'm like, I don't have to wake up. Like I'm actually sleeping in a bed, and I don't
And
have to
sleep
go
in.
anywhere. Like I woke up the next morning, I'm like, can somebody bring me breakfast to bed? Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
how I felt. I'm like, I deserve this. Like,
Yes.
and it doesn't like really hit you until you honestly finish and you're like, I cannot believe I did this. Like I actually was all over the 7 continents doing a
Yeah.
marathon. So
Yeah. That's
it's
crazy.
it's
So
something that
awesome.
you will absolutely never forget. And that group of people, we were about 60 people,
Hmm.
and that group, that camaraderie, like the connection that you had built with everyone. And this most special thing about it is that everyone has a story. Like everyone's
Yeah.
there because, you know, yeah, everyone's probably crazy like me, but we're like, we all
I don't
have
think
that
it's crazy. I
same,
think it's awesome.
yeah, but it's
So
like, it's
cool.
everybody has that same mentality. Everyone's
Yeah.
there because they want to be there, and everyone had a purpose and a reason to be there. And
Yeah.
so, listening to everyone's stories, like some of them, two guys were running with one lung, just someone
Mm.
running for their parents or their dad or cancer. It's just like so special. And we have
Yeah.
kept that camaraderie. We all stay in touch still. We all have a WhatsApp group that we always kind of connect. And
I love
I think we
that.
will have a reunion pretty soon. So,
Oh, I hope you do. I'm rooting for a
yes.
reunion. That would be so fun. So how did you celebrate? Did you have breakfast in bed? You obviously
uh,
took like a real shower and a real shower
I,
and like a nice shower, I'm sure, and slept in a
yes.
bed. But how did you
Yes.
celebrate?
Well, I celebrated with friends. Everyone was there. We just went out. We just had, a good dinner, good drinks, and just kind of enjoyed it that way. So that was to me like, and then when I came back to Chicago, I had obviously like everyone at work and
Hmm.
my family and everyone like that. So we celebrated, but it was very, very special, and it made Thanksgiving that year very amazing because I was like, I am done and I can do whatever
Yes.
I want.
Yes. I love
So
that. I love
yeah,
that.
but the one thing also that I did is I sent emails. We didn't have Wi-Fi on the plane.
Mhm.
Um, it was kind of probably a good thing because then you
Yeah.
just went to sleep. Uh, but I also sent, like when we were actually on land, I would send an email to everyone at my company with after every marathon with a picture and what I did. And I'm so glad that I
Oh,
did that because now looking
yeah.
back, it was like my little journal that I did,
Yeah.
because I would write them like at that moment, right? I finished because I knew we didn't have Wi-Fi on the plane, so I would write it right after the race, and I would post a picture. And now looking back, I'm like, this is so awesome. I'm so glad I did
Yeah.
that.
I love that. That's such
Yeah,
a nice way to like reminisce too when you need to go back and
absolutely,
like think about it and look at what you did. It's amazing. It's
absolutely.
amazing. I mean,
Yeah,
huge congratulations. Years later,
thank you.
sorry, as we
No,
just got
thank you.
connected, but thank you for
But
sharing all of that.
yeah, but I really think if you're considering, you should do it. Like I truly, truly think it will change everything.
Yeah.
It's so different than a marathon, like just
Yeah.
a single marathon. So
I bet. I'm sure there are people listening that are going to be like, I'm going to sign up. It's honestly on my radar. I'm like slowly getting into the ultra space.
Oh,
I
amazing.
actually ran over the summer. I ran for the listeners already know, but since I'm getting to know you, um, the loop, this reminded me of before when you were like, oh, some of them were 1.5 miles back and
Yeah.
forth. I did, it was a 12-hour ultra and it was as many laps as you could. And the lap was like
Oh my gosh.
3.75 miles. So I was like, oh, okay, like no big deal. And then, of course, I was like, no big deal until I got to mile or like, well, yeah, mile like 65. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready for this to be over. I'm
That
like,
is
I hate
amazing.
everything on this
Wow.
path. I want to be
Yeah.
done. It's
Yeah.
done. Um, but yeah, but to your point before, which is why I wanted to bring it up, is like I did that and I was like, all right, well now I can run in a loop for as
Yeah.
long as I feel like I need to, which
Yeah.
doesn't
It's all.
ever really have to happen again, but I could.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
amazing that you did that. Wow. I'm very
Yeah, it's
impressed.
crazy.
But
It's crazy.
yeah, I see the 7-7 will be a just easy run for you.
I
So
know. Easy, I don't know. I'll do it though. I would totally do it. I'm down for anything.
for sure.
I love it. All right, so looking ahead, I guess what's next for you? Are you like chasing anything big? You don't have to share
Um,
either. I don't want to pressure you. Some people
no,
don't like
no,
to share.
it's so I am still, yes, I am planning to do a marathon.
Mhm.
I don't know yet which one. I'm thinking like something in maybe I was planning to do the March marathon, the McCurdy marathon, but I thought
Oh
it was too
yeah.
soon for me to do that just because the
Mhm.
winter was just so brutal to train for.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm thinking about doing Bayshore marathon. So that would be, I feel like it would be a good one, like
Yeah.
mid before, right before summer, so I can actually
Yeah.
enjoy my summer.
Yeah, that's right. And not
So
train through like the 90-degree weather.
yeah, and I love the heat. Like I don't mind it. I actually
Yeah.
really enjoy running in warmer weather. So that's it. And then yeah, I just to me in my mind, I'm like always just trying to push what's next and I keep looking if there's another challenge out there that I can do. And everyone's like, you should do ultras. I'm like, I'm not, if I don't feel it, I can't do it. So I need to like can be
Yeah.
like ready. I need to feel that this is what I want to do.
Hmm.
But I just feel like the marathon and I,
Yeah.
we still have like some issues that we need to work.
There's some unexplained business to be handled.
Yes, yes.
I
And once
feel
that's
that. It's a
done,
very
it's like that complicated relationship. That's how I call the marathon,
Oh yeah.
Sometimes it's like, they make you so mad, but then yet you like go back and you're like, all right, let's work it out. Let's
Hmm.
figure out how we can move forward again.
And I'm trying to like
And
figure out how I'm gonna get to my main goal. It might take a
yeah.
long time. It's a process.
It
It's a
is a
huge
process.
process.
It is a
It's
process. But once you learn that it is a process, that's when you actually like will succeed. You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
people want now and they want it fast and it just doesn't
It's not
happen
like
that way.
that. It's
No,
not like that. Wow, I
no.
love that. I feel like that's such a good thing I feel like it is a good thing to have a little like beef with a marathon because it just keeps you
Yes.
going. I don't know. It would keep
Yes.
me going for
Yeah.
sure. It's what
Yeah.
keeps me going.
It's like the
Keeps
boyfriend that you love but you hate at the same time.
yeah.
You're like, you're
Yeah.
making me so mad, but and
Yeah.
I love you
I
so
hate you, but
much.
I also love you.
Yes.
You're like,
That's
get away from
exactly
me,
how
but
I look
also
at
like
it.
love me. Yeah.
Yes, love me
Yeah.
back. But
Yeah,
yeah, so that's how
exactly.
I look at it. So we'll see. I hope it goes well. I'm just starting back to my training, and so we'll see how that goes.
I love that. I will.
Yeah,
I hope everyone listening is going to follow along on your journey. We'll get to that in a
thank
second, but
you.
I promise we're wrapping up. I'll stop chewing your ear off. Um, but for someone listening who may be like chasing a big, impossible goal or what seems to be impossible, is there a single piece of advice that you would give them?
Um, First off, I would say, like believe in yourself because and don't ignore what other people are doing. Ignore, like, you might see sometimes people are like doing workouts and you're like, oh my gosh, they're like crushing it and I'm not doing the same and I should be doing more hills or more, more mileage. And I think it's just focus on yourself, focus on you know how you like what your body can adjust, what your body can do, and that's how you're going to succeed. And one of the things that I always tell myself is don't ask how. Like, I don't ask myself, like, how am I going to be a good racer? Because I
Hmm.
know the answer. Or, how am I going to be in shape? How anything in life, like, how am I going to lose
Yeah.
weight? How instead, just remember, like, your why, like, why you're
Hmm.
doing this and the reason you're doing it. And I think having that, will keep you moving forward, will keep you on track, and will help you just reach your goal. Just remember why you started, why you're doing this, and not how you're going to do this. And
Yeah.
that's how I
So
think
true.
about it.
It's a great piece of advice. And I always say comparison is the thief of joy. So if you're like
It
comparing
truly
yourself
is.
to others, it's just not going to help you and your journey. And it's
Yeah,
not going to feed your why,
yeah,
So I love that.
absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely.
All right, to wrap up here. Not that I don't want this to end, Shireen. This is so much
Oh,
fun. I'm having the best time
I'm
with you.
really so good.
um, I am building a playlist for Allie G Show listeners because my whole life revolves around music. I work in music. I run to music. Um, do you have a song that you would add?
Um, there's a lot because it feels like there is a lot of part of my life that I could use that song. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just especially my background where I'm from, Lebanon, and just how like representing all of that. But again, as me, a personality, I would say I Titanium, the song Titanium.
Oh, it's a great song. It's a
It's a
great
great
song.
song, and I think it kind of describes me a lot in every way. But yeah, that's a good song. But yeah, there's definitely a lot more that I can add on to that to that
Listen,
playlist.
anytime you want to add, you are welcome to add to the playlist. I'll make you a collaborator. You can add as many as you want. I think I
If
would love
you
that. Everybody else would love it.
if you get some Arabic song in there, don't wonder what it is.
No, see, that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it so cool and so fun because that's why it's unique to all of us here
Yeah,
listening to the pod and being involved in the pod. So I love that. Titanium's a great song. Yeah, I mean it. Anytime you want to add songs, feel free. um,
right. Sounds good.
but lastly, before we wrap up and say goodbye, where can people follow along with you?
Well, my Instagram handle, which is Shireen.njeim, and then Facebook, but I don't really do Facebook, so it's mostly
Yeah.
Instagram for me. Just, and I'm always happy also to, if people have questions or just want to ask about anything, even asking about the 7-7. So I'm always
Yes.
open to answer. So yeah, I love, connecting with people and learning about them, and so reach out and don't hesitate.
I love it. Shireen, thank you so much for being here. This was so awesome. Thank you for sharing all your great stories. I greatly appreciate it. And I can't wait
Thank
to hear
you.
more from you. I follow you. I'm following along. So I can't wait to see what you do next.
Yeah, well,
It's going to
thank
be
you so
great.
much, and good luck to you in Boston. I know you're gonna rock it. So,
Thank you. Thank you. I
so
hope
good
so.
luck.
I
Thanks.
appreciate it. All right, Allie G Show fam, that's a wrap on today's track. Huge thank you and shout out to Shireen for coming on the pod, sharing her incredible story, and reminding us how powerful belief and resilience and community can be when you're willing to trust the process. If today's track resonated with you, take that energy with you into your next run, walk, ride, whatever movement looks like for you. And don't forget to follow along on Instagram at _Allie G Show and follow along with Shireen at Chirine Njeim as well. Lastly, a big shout out to Backline Running for sponsoring the Allie G Show and supporting today's track, and for everything they do to give back to this running community. I love a brand that shows up with purpose and a brand that helps keep this powerful running space moving forward. So shout out to Backline. They are the best. And I will catch you guys on the next track of the Allie G Show. Bye.